Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to week 3 of Project ATC10K, and it would really make Con and me happy if you hit that like button and subscribed, maybe shared the video, and ding the bell for notifications. Right, Con? Alright, let's get to the week. So I started out the third week of Project ATC10K the way I normally do on a Monday, with a base run of usually between 60 to 80 minutes, depending on where I am in the training plan, followed by some strides or some hill sprints, just to kind of keep the legs alive, get them prepared for what's usually a Tuesday workout, or just to kind of shake the gunk off from any long run I might have done the previous weekend. Today's run is in the New Balance Fuel Cell Rebel V4. Nice and light, still soft, but able to pick it up if I want to do some strides. This sculpture is called The Awakening. During the Great Mississippi River flood of 1993, all of this area was under 8 feet of water. So that's why this levee was built up. And they were nice enough to put a convenient greenway on top of the levee, which is nice and flat and scenic. All right, that's Monday. 10 miles on the dot with about half a dozen strides down on the levee greenway. Now I'm gonna get all rested up for a workout tomorrow. Good morning and welcome to Tuesday. I'm in the middle of my warm-up. This is my last run in Missouri before Heidi and Connor and I get on the road and head back to North Carolina. And after I finish my warm-up, I'm gonna do a broken progression run, which is gonna have 5 stages, but there will be recoveries between the stages. So 10 minutes at a solid state pace, which think of that as like a 2-hour race pace. Then 2 minutes recovery, 8 minutes at half marathon pace, 2 minutes off, 6 minutes at 15K pace, or think lactate threshold pace, then 1.5 minutes off, 4 minutes at 10K pace, 1.5 minutes off, and then 2 minutes at 5K pace. This is also my second run and the Brooks Hyperion 2. And I'm going to talk about those shoes more in depth in a different video. But yeah, this is gonna be about a moderate effort workout because there will be a more punishing workout later in the week that I can't wait to show you guys. All right, let's get back to it. All right, guys, I don't want any trouble. Ooh, he's hissing at me. Okay, we're up on the levee. We're a couple miles in, about as warmed up as I'm gonna be. Time to start this thing. Sunrise behind me. There's a deer down there. Oh, deer's going to the bathroom. First stage done. Now. All right, 2 minutes recovery. Bye, deer. Stage 2, starting now. Go. 8 minutes, a half marathon effort. The good news is I'm 60% done. The bad news is these next stages are only gonna feel harder and I'll have less of a recovery. Speaking of, 5, 4. All right, 6 minutes on. Next up, 4 minutes of 10K effort, starting now. Come on. That 10K effort really took it out of me. Now I gotta find some 5K speed for 2 minutes. Almost done. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's time. Whew. Gonna have to pause here. Oh. Tougher than expected. All right, broken progression run done. 10.1 miles on the day. That brings me to 20.1 for the week so far for Tuesday. It's a good workout to end the vacation on. Rest day tomorrow, and then we'll see you guys on Thursday. It's Wednesday and it's a rest day for me because it's a travel day for us. So we're at a hotel in Tennessee, and you know what that means. Continental breakfast. So Thursday was a double day. I did about 8.7 miles of base with John in the morning, and then later that morning did a shoe off for the Brooks Hyperion 2 and 7 other shoes. And altogether that brought me to about 12.25 miles in the day and 32.3 miles for the week. All right, it's Friday morning and it's time for the Punisher. This is gonna be the harder of the two workouts this week. We're gonna do 4 laps of the Punisher loop, which I will describe shortly. And yeah, the humidity is pretty high, so it's gonna be tough. I might be able to get some camera shots of the last couple of laps, but right now it's pretty dark out, so I'm not gonna get anything for the first half of the workout. The Punisher Loop is a hilly 1.3 mile or 2.1 kilometer loop in Davidson that has many steep ups and downs. We usually do 3 or 4 reps of it at a tempo or faster pace, but it usually ends up being a little bit slower because of all the hills. We decided to do 4 today. Seeing as this is one of my key workouts, I've got the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3 today. Also, the tarmac is still a little bit wet from the rainstorms and it might start raining again, so I figured that Puma grip might be helpful. All right, starting rep number 3, on. Down the hill. And up Spring Street. Down another hill. This one's steep. And come on, fellas. Yeah. Not gonna take the camera on the last rep. 4 reps down on the cool down now. What'd you guys think? 4 Punisher. Punished. Done with the Punisher. 4 reps of the loop. We usually only do 3 reps. But we just decided to make it harder today. Wearing the shirt to commemorate it, the Punisher logo shirt. Yeah, Gonna do some recovery now. Saturday, just did a little over 2 hours, about 2 hours and 10 minutes with some buddies in Davidson on a nice hilly scenic route at an easy aerobic pace. I'm gonna do another long run tomorrow, Sunday, with some pace added in, and doing back-to-backs this week to kind of make up for a midweek rest day. And also, it's still summer grit, so I'm still trying to get in the high mileage. The 361 degrees Helios was the choice for this easy Saturday long run, and I've been getting a lot of miles in these lately. Good morning and welcome to Sunday. It's the last day of the week. It's about 5:40 in the morning, and I'm gonna get on the road here in a few minutes. I gotta get it done early today. But yeah, I'm gonna do another 2+ hour long run, somewhere between 2 and 2.5 hours, probably between 16 and 18 miles. We'll see where I end up on the day. A lot of that's where I end up, meeting the guys. I'm gonna meet everyone else on the run, and somewhere in the middle of that run, the middle or the end, I'm gonna throw in about 20 minutes of marathon pace. Not training directly for a marathon right now, but getting some up-tempo miles at the end of the long run. It's good for the soul, good for the body, gets you used to feeling strong at the end, and working some more of those muscle groups. And today I'm going to be in the Hoka Cielo X1, mainly because I use it as a super trainer, and if I'm going to be spending a lot of time on foot and want some energy out of it, this is a good one to end the week on. So this week will probably end up being in the mid-70s as far as total mileage. I don't know, I'm only 3 miles into my long run right now, just basing it off of what's probably going to happen. And that's decently high mileage. That would be peak mileage for me in the 70s or 80s if I were training for a marathon. But starting next week, I'm gonna be reducing that to where I'm more in the 60s, right around the 100-kilometer mark for weekly volume, mainly because I'm moving from support training into specific training. The good thing about this high mileage, other than the benefits rolling over from training plan to training plan, is I don't really feel sore doing these back-to-back long runs. I don't feel it in the muscle tissue. I feel heavy, I feel tired, and the first couple miles are always slower, like in the high 8s, sometimes 9-minute pace. But I don't feel totally exhausted. It does make doing the workouts harder. The first reps always suck, but it's really hard to get into pace on heavy fatigued legs. So moving into specific training, I'm gonna reduce the mileage a little bit and try and hold myself more accountable for the quality of the race specific workouts. When you're done, start saying, hey. Sure, video comedy. All right, been running for about 94 minutes. I'm gonna drop into marathon effort right about here.
I think I'm at effort already.
This little MF and hill, it's a pace breaker. Halfway through the pace piece now, rule number 5 is in effect. So everyone knows that a gathering of crows is a murder, but a gathering of vultures is a wake of vultures. Time. All right, I finished the pace piece, and John and Anthony went a different way. I've got to head straight home. I got places to be, but I'm gonna do this last couple miles at a cool down effort. Feel pretty good. I mean, that's a lie. It felt hard, but but anything would at the end of a 75-mile week. Feeling good for having done it. Shoes feel good. All right, let's finish this run out. All right, just finished 16.7 miles done in 2 hours and 10 minutes. I'll have to check Strava. I think that leaves me with 75.1 for the week, but it's an over 32 mile weekend between Saturday and Sunday combined. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, happy with how the pace went, happy with how the week's volume went. Now I think I'll do a shoe talk of all the shoes I've used this week. Okay, shoe talk time. I'm gonna try and do this quickly because I think the AC unit is gonna kick on at any moment and cause some noise. So this week on Monday, I did my base mileage, a nice little scenic run in Chesterfield, Missouri in the New Balance Fuel Cell Rebel V4. Like I said during the run, this is a nice and light shoe, and it's just a good daily trainer. I can pick up the pace if I want, but if I want an easy day and don't want something heavy on my foot, this one's good. I think longevity might be one of the few caveats with this one. The outsole rubber is going to be fine. There's some abrasion there. I think the outsole rubber will outlive the midsole. This soft midsole, the 80/20 EVA PIBA blend, is just going to, it's probably going to bottom out before a lot of other daily trainers. So I've probably got about 100 miles left on these before they become casual shoes. But that's fine. I think I will have still gotten my money's worth out of them. I've been running a lot in this shoe. On Tuesday, I did a broken progression run, and also I did a shoe off on Thursday, as well as a base run in the Brooks Hyperion 2. I just did a review of this shoe. In fact, all the shoes I ran in this week are 2024 releases, and I have done reviews of all of them on this channel. I'll try and link all those reviews in the description. But yeah, the Hyperion 2, it was great for a progression run, especially since, you know, I'm gonna try and not run in plated shoes unless I really think the run is going to benefit in a good way from that plated shoe. So having a non-plated workout shoe, which I have plenty of, this works great in that role. And tune in to the video I released a couple days ago, the full review of the Hyperion 2, to learn more about this one. Wednesday was a rest day. Thursday was the Punisher, and going back to shoes that are plated that I use for workouts, the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3, which is a shoe that I am just loving more and more the more I run in it. And this is one of the two shoes that I'm considering for Around the Crown 10K, which is why I'm using it on one of those 10K specific workouts like the Punisher. One of the things that I did not mention in the review because it was not an issue, but it certainly felt like an issue during the Punisher, was this shoe vacates moisture really well, this airy upper. However, the laces are really the only thing about the shoe that I don't like. They're long, they're also soft, so the laces themselves retain a lot of moisture. I was starting to get wet feet more from just the top of the foot, where the laces were retaining some of that water. That's an easy fix though. If I could find some extra serrated laces like on this shoe and mix those out, then this would be a near perfect racing shoe. That was Friday, that was the Punisher. And then on Saturday, I did just a couple hours, a little more than a couple hours of easy base. So an easy long run, LSD, in the 361 degrees Elios. And I think as a daily trainer, this one's a sleeper hit for this year. This midsole, whatever they're doing it right. It was described to me in 361 degrees literature as a supercritical EVA. I have seen other reviewers say it's a mixture of supercritical EVA and PIBA. It certainly does have a good bounce to it. I find it hard to believe that that kind of mixture would be in a $145 shoe, but this is a $140 shoe and it's got a little bit of PIBA in there. Whatever this is, this supercritical mixture, it stayed lively through every mile of the long run, and I've done multiple 20-milers in this shoe, and I have well over 100 miles in this shoe since I got it, which was not long ago. That should tell you something about it. It is a little bit warm for the summer, but I did not really feel like my foot was getting soggy or anything in that. And then today, which was 2 hours and 10 minutes, almost 17 miles, including some marathon effort in there. It was not exactly my PR marathon pace, but it was close. So since I had a lot of miles on my legs and I wanted something with a little bit of energy and a little bit of snapback from a carbon plate, I went to the Hoka Cielo X1, which is a racing shoe that I really use as a super trainer. I think it would be a great racing shoe for a road ultra, but I've been kind of using this as a super trainer, and it worked well today. I've heard a lot of people, say things about the upper, that it would get warm. I didn't get that today. Or that the shoe is heavy. It's not the lightest of marathon racers, but for how I use it, it's fine. The one thing I would change about it, I already changed the laces after my first run in the shoe, but there's a lot of friction in the lacing system. So just to get it dialed in takes a lot of effort. This again would benefit if I took these tube laces out, which are already replacement laces, and put some of those thin serrated laces in there. Really, every shoe needs to have laces like this. Okay, that is my shoe talk. And I'm going to end this week the way I like to end every week, which is with a nice, easy recovery walk with my favorite walking buddy, this guy right here. All right, guys, don't forget LSD, which is like, subscribe, or share the video, and ding the bell for notifications. Thank you for joining me for week 3 of Project ATC10K, and we'll see you next week for week 4.